Good evening, I'm Peter Peters and welcome to another in the series Greatest Moments in Rugby League, and away from the international scene for a change and onto the domestic scene. And a triple whammy for you tonight for St George and Western Suburbs fans, 1961, 62 and 63. St George in the midst of their great record-breaking run, and Western Suburbs, the millionaires, trying to break it. Let's have a look at the 1961 grand final and see how the Magpies went against the red and white machine.
Bugden moves into this one, and the big game's on at the Sydney Cricket Ground. The ball's fielded here downfield in the Western Suburbs 25 yards mark. And from the ruck play here, referee Darcy Lawler puts down the first scrum 20 yards out from the Magpies line. On the run to pick up the ball is the former rugby and international Arthur Summons to work the scrum. Down they go in a full-blooded effort from the front rowers, but the ball's heeled back here. And once again, Lawler asks for the ball to be placed in. In it goes. West win this one. Holman gets it out to Martin. Martin moving up the centre of the field is caught here and quickly brought down. With a good tackle there to mark him was Brian Clay. The ball's picked up by Kelvin O'Shea, who gets his support, moving the pass going out to Hayes in the headgear, who fumbles, drops the ball. Holman tries to gain possession, but Provan gets up, playing the ball back here. In a flash, has gone out to Raper, gives a long pass, running off him is Bugden. Bugden makes the break, takes play, kicks downfield. It comes off the chest of Farris and goes into touch over on the hillside of the Sydney Cricket Ground. The second scrum forming up. Summons works the scrum, in it goes. Locked in the tunnel. Both hookers are on the ground here, but Bugden clears the scrum here with a pass going out to Brian Clay. Clay gets his supports moving with a pass going out to Brown, who fumbled the ball, which is picked up by Lumsden. Lumsden props, comes inside, but referee Darcy Lawler has scrummed them down almost on the halfway markers play, with Bugden working the scrum for St George. Down they go. Both hookers are struggling on the ground here, as you can see from here, and the whistle has gone. This time it's against the former international hooker Kelly, backing with a loose arm. Now Brian Graham coming up to take this particular kick for St George. Brian Graham has been a great custodian for St George this season. Kicks for touch into the hillside of the Sydney Cricket Ground, and so now play will travel down 20 yards out from the Magpies line on the Randwick end. Down they go for this scrum with Arthur Summers, number 7, endeavouring to work this scrum. Plenty of weight in the scrums of St George. You can see Raper pushing his heart out there, and the ball's won by St George. It goes across field to Gasnier, who turned it in field to King, who came nice in from the wing. Young King plays the ball back here. It's picked up by Raper to Clay. Clay made the fumble. The ball's picked up by O'Shea, who gets his pass to Patch. Patch appears to have knocked on. And the referee Lawler will scrum them up for the knock-on resulting from Patch. Arthur Summons, the halfback of Western Suburbs, picking up the ball. You can see plenty of weight in that pack of O'Shea, and Raper down his knees with O'Shea pushing just as hard too. In goes the ball. But penalised here as the second row play, and a penalty to St George against the halfback Arthur Summons, placing the ball in the second row. Now Brian Graham coming up to take this particular penalty kick from the breach there. Brian Graham moves into this one. It's in the air, and look at it, a magnificent kick going right between the posts. Well, the big crowd here certainly stopped right till the end of this thrilling climax of the season to see who was going to take out the coveted premiership of 1961. The ball's in the air out towards the hillside of the Sydney Cricket Ground, and so play now has swung up to St George 25 yards mark. In goes the ball placed by Bugden, but it's gone across field to Holman, who gives it to Diamond. Diamond couldn't handle the ball. It's picked up by O'Shea, and Big O'Shea dropped the ball and more or less was ruled offside by the referee Darcy Lawler. Louis Wilson with the ball in hand gives it back to Brian Graham. Graham coming up to the mark and drives it well downfield, getting great distances with his kicks today. The same Brian Graham kicked it into touch over on the halfway mark, more or less, on the hillside of the Sydney Cricket Ground. Low rain fell right throughout the afternoon. It was quite entertaining football for the big climax. Here is Gasnier making the break, man, brought in on the halfway mark, gets to his feet. But once again, play has moved in centre field on the Western Suburbs side of halfway. St George up possession with a pass going out to Brian Clay, who draws the Western Suburbs defence, gives a perfect flick pass to Eddie Lumsden, the world-first winger, who goes helter-skelter down on the Randwick end of the Sydney Cricket Ground to put it down for the first St George try, and a mighty executed movement there by Brian Clay.
Yes, a great try indeed, made possible by the late and great Popper Clay. Here he is, drawing the Western Suburbs defence. Flick pass back inside to Eddie Lumsden. He finds all the gaps, and over goes Lumsden for the first St George try.
And Brian Graham moves in to take the conversion, going right between the posts to add the extras, and his boys move up once again. Play over on the hillside. One huge sea of faces here with a big crowd of 61,196 have stopped right to the end to see the climax of this very hard-fought grand final. Holman put on the ground on the western suburb 25 yards mark, but he has played the ball back here to Hayes, who gets his supports moving with a pass going across field with durable Kelly. Kelly is brought down here, tackled by Clay and Wilson. But the ball's heeled back here once again. Tipping it off the ground is cast in the hands of Charlton. Charlton gets out towards the hillside. Stepped out in a attempt at tackle. Moved away from another one by Ryan. Was brought down here. But slipped the pass away, but it's on the ground. Picked up again by Charlton. It was offside here. Oh, from the scrum it goes down. Summons works the scrum. In goes the ball. And the nice scissors move have been put on here. There's Raper going nicely downfield. Shoots it away this time to Johnny King. And the St. George young winger goes in to score. That very nice try.
A little bit of magic here from Bugden and also Raper. Now watch here as the ball is out to Bugden. A quick flick pass back to Raper. He sidesteps, makes valuable ground, and then sends a long floating pass out to Johnny King, and he makes sure his record of scoring a try in grand finals is intact.
Here we see the kick that has to be taken by Brian Graham, and there she goes. Well, the big crowd certainly enjoyed that nice run by Johnny King. When the scrum that breaks up, here's Lumsden on the burst, taking play very close to the sideline, tackled by Barsley. Eddie Lumsden upon his feet, plays it back to the dummy half in Provan, who gets his supports moving, and the ball being given the full treatment here as Ryan tries to break his way through, but is effectively tackled by the Western Suburbs defence. From the ruck play, Peter Armstrong couldn't pick that one up, but Provan does behind him, gives the pass away to Raper. Raper, a real 80-minute player, is put on the ground from behind by Kelvin O'Shea. Johnny Raper lays the ball back to Wilson. Wilson to Ryan. Ryan propped there, decided to go on his own and shot the pass away inside to Brown. Kevin Brown quickly tackled there upon his feet, plays the ball back once again to Provan, who serves a nice pass up to Raper. Raper going nicely through here. Couldn't get the pass out, but plays amongst the forwards this time as Provan picks up. Norm Provan, a great tower of strength, the veteran of many, most number of games of St. George. Couldn't play that ball quite cleanly. And penalty here against Charlton, striking before the ball could be played. And Brian comes up on the ready, takes this kick, charging down after the ball with the St. George forwards, but it's anybody's ball at the moment, as you can see from here, with the ball being tipped around from man to man. And eventually there was Gasnier in full speed, but was recalled for a forward pass. From the scrum it goes down. Bugden flicks it in, darts beyond, gets it away to Clay. From Clay taking it nicely this time as Gaz into Brown. Brown makes the break here. And the young Newcastle boy before coming to St. George at Newcastle has Lumsden alongside of him. Gives the pass to Lumsden. And there goes Lumsden. Corner post was knocked down in that incident, but the touch judge, as you see, didn't say he was out. The referee has given the try.
This try really demonstrates the brilliance of the St. George backs. The ball is out to Brown. Now watch Brown. He does all the work. Makes a fine break. Looks for Lumsden. Over goes Lumsden for his second try.
Nice kick from behind by Brian Graham. Both flags are up. A magnificent effort all the way. And so that's the scoreboard that has told many, many tales at the Sydney Cricket Ground. Bugden works the scrum. Both hookers ready to strike. But it's picked up smartly by Bugden, who makes the break downfield. Turned it back outside to King. King's on his merry way. A nice clean cut of a youngster, young King, who showed great speed there. It was recalled. A penalty here. Moving in nicely is Graham. The ball's inside. It looks mighty in the air. And both flags are up, and so Brian Graham's trusty boot again puts 4 points on the board for St. George. Well, one huge sea of faces. Still stopping at the end to see the finale of this game at the moment. 17 St. George and Western Suburbs 0. Now play on the halfway mark to kick off. Time is Holman, who boots it out towards the western side. Going high for the ball this time is Provan. Provan slips it away to Kevin Ryan, who turns the ball back in field and brought on the ground. From the play the ball. It's cleared from the ruck by Wilson, who gets his supports moving, and the pass going to Kevin Brown, the big fellow going straight down the centre here. It's brought down, and St. George still have possession, taking play down towards the western suburb 25 yards mark. Louis Wilson clears the ruck this time, decides to go on his own and shoots it back here. Grabbing the ball high was Ryan, who gets his supports moving this time with a pass going to Raper. Raper in the headgear, veering out towards the western side of the cricket ground, is brought down on the halfway mark. He's marked by Patch, but Wilson clears the ruck this time with a pass to Provan. Provan's brought down on the halfway mark, and St. George have possession. Wilson on the ready here to pick up from the ruck, does so too, goes around the blinds on his own, turns the ball back inside here to Kevin Ryan, who's bundled almost into touch. Players dangerously close to the sideline. From the ruck play here, it's Proven who sends the long pass away here, and it's gone right across field to Brian Clay, who's travelling well downfield, is brought there on the ground by Brown. But the referee, Darcy Lawler, watching play close, is a penalty kick taken by Brian Graham, goes well downfield. Taken nice in the goal mouth area by Parrish, who slipped the pass back in field there to Martin. Martin's on his way on the western suburb 25 yards mark, and still going goalwards. Martin scored, brought on the ground here by Brown, marked by Brown on the play the ball. But the referee, Darcy Lawler, has blown the whistles. The players move off now after this most exciting game, with St George going further ahead. Well, the crowd over on the hillside there, as I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, stayed right till the end of the season, which rung the curtain down for season 1961. Bugden works the scrum, darts behind the scrum, gets it away to Clay. Clay props nicely in field, goes up past the halfway mark, shoots it back inside to Gasnier. Gasnier is brought down there, quickly tackled by Diamond, but Gasnier upon his feet here, plays the ball back to Brown. From Brown, it's gone across field to Proven. Proven turns it to Ryan, and Ryan's thrown on the ground here, quickly tackled. Ryan Hills with the back of the boot this time. It's gone to Kevin Brown, out in a flash to Clay. Clay trying to break his way through the wall of the defence of Western Suburbs. He loses the ball, picked up by O'Shea. O'Shea moving downfield here, chased by Proven, decides to put his boot to the ball, and in doing so sends it back to Brian Graham, the St George fullback, who takes the ball, comes up, flips, gets to his feet once again, steps away from O'Shea and caught by Diamond. Brian Graham getting to his feet. There's a scuffle here to see who has the ball, but the referee has given a penalty here to St George against Diamond. From the scrum that breaks up, here's Raper trying to get his way through, and is brought down by a good tackle by Kelvin O'Shea. Raper plays the ball back here to the hands of Proven. Proven's on the ground. They scrum it up once again. The rain has fallen at the moment. You can see the umbrellas right throughout the ground as Martin makes the breakthrough downfield, kicks, sending Diamond in after the chase, but the ball eluded both of them. They scrum it up 5 yards from St George line. West win this one, with Summons going nicely through to be caught by the cover defence of St George. Summons getting to his feet. Plays the ball back once again. It's Hayes who gives the pass away to Charlton. Charlton to Holman. Holman sends it away to Carson. Overhead to Diamond. Diamond has gone without the ball. And once again we see play on the halfway mark with the St George moving the ball out to Lumsden. Look at Lumsden going for the line. Stepped out of an attempt of tackle. And Lumsden goes in to score his third try.
This would have to rank as one of the greatest all-time performances in a grand final. Look at Eddie Lumsden. The big boy, off he goes. Evades the tackle from the Western Suburbs winger and crashes over for try number 3.
Here we see Brian Graham attempting the conversion, and there she goes. Looks mighty close. And both flags are up. Well, that's the score. They scrum it up once again. Here's Holman getting his pass away to Summons. Summons trying to break his way through the tight St George defence. But St George standing right up upon Western Suburb and giving nothing away. They're going on to be for their 6th consecutive premiership, which no doubt will constitute a world's record. Here we see St George still moving the ball, going downfield on the opposite side is Lumsden. Lumsden's almost through here, but is bundling a touch there. Tackled very smartly by Parrish. St George have possession here once again from the ruck at Brown, who gives it this time to Ryan. From Ryan to Bluey Wilson, and the St George skipper brought on the ground here and quickly tackled. Wilson plays the ball back once again. In a flash, it's gone amongst the St George forwards. With play on the outside of Hooker Armstrong going nicely through to be quickly upended. Players down the St George 25 yards mark this time. And once again, it's Bluey Wilson coming to the picture, sending Clay on his way. Clay gives it across field this time, and St George's David Brown moving nicely downfield. Stepped out of an attempt of tackle, was brought down by Parrish, dangerously close to the sideline is play. In the dying stages of this game, St George trying to put more points up on the board, and racing through nicely is Gasnier. Gasnier is brought down from the line. They scrum it up once again. In goes the ball, locked in the tunnel, but West have it. With Holman picking up at the base of the scrum on the hillside of the Sydney Cricket Ground. He plays the ball back here this time, right to the hands of Thatcher, gets his supports moving, with a pass going right amongst the 3 quarters where Brown gives it away here to Parrish. Parrish is put on the board of his back here. Parrish getting up, playing this ball back to the ruck half in Charlton. Charlton picks it up and gives a one-handed pass out here, and a flash it's picked up by Martin. Martin steps away from the attempt of tackle. It's caught by the St George cover defence. Marked in the play, the ball here by Proven, but he plays the ball back this time. Carson switches direction with a pass to Holman. Holman's caught and trapped here, sends the ball back in field, and racing downfield is Barsley. Young Barsley moved nicely through there. Shoots the pass away to Summons. Summons has the rubber kick here along the ground and kicks it into no man's land, but they're coming down, picking up this time once again. This is George's full King getting to his feet, plays the ball back to